From Porsche to Rolls-Royce, diamonds to gold phones. It's all about high-end wealth this week as Abu Dhabi hosts the World Luxury Expo. Also on the program, he's known as the Sheikh of Chic, the Kuwaiti royal family member who's making a splash in the world of fragrance. And the Gulf was once home to a thriving pearl industry. Now one man is hoping to revive that ancient tradition. This week, Marketplace Middle East comes to you from the opulent Emirates Palace Hotel, a symbol of luxury throughout the Middle East and, in fact, the world. Well, from luxury cars to high-end jewelers, even designer furniture wear, it also played host to the World Luxury Expo this week. It is a sign of the buying power, particularly in the Gulf states of this region, as Jomana Karachi reports.
It's all about the glitz and glamour, an invitation-only event. On display here, luxury furniture, jewelry, cars, and many more extravagant items.
This is the third luxury expo held in the region so far this year, with Gulf states ranking high on the list of countries with the greatest density of millionaire households. It's no surprise this part of the world would be a prime market for the producers of luxury goods.
This is the long wheelbase.
Organizers say the value of items on offer is more than 1 billion dirhams. That's more than 270 million US dollars.
It's all exclusive, it's all special. We don't want to have a shopping mall because, you know, the shopping malls are amazing here. So we want to add something special, wow factor, something people's never seen.
That would be items like this model car, covered in precious metals and stones. It comes with a more than 7 million US dollar price tag. But perhaps one item that stands out the most is the human regenerator, a machine whose creators say uses technology based on quantum physics. They promise results like anti-aging and claim effects can be felt after a short time in the machine.
How do you feel?
Refreshing. Relaxing. At the same time, there is something I don't understand, but it's really something new.
The expo is not just about known luxury brands. Some European exhibitors are here hoping to enter the Gulf market for the first time.
A lot of business is done. The exhibitors won't talk about it, but there's a lot of money going around.
What about the critics who say this is over the top?
That comes from the people who don't have the money.
The next luxury expo, planned in November, will be in the world's richest country per capita, neighboring Qatar.
Now to a player who knows a thing or two about luxury himself. It is Kuwaiti Majid Al Sabah, better known as the Sheikh of Chic. Nina Dos Santos sat down with Al Sabah in London after launching the Fragrance Kitchen in the UK.
He's already a royal, but now he wants to become the king of fragrance.
A little bit of oud, a little bit of musk, and a twist of rose.
It's light, but spicy.
Exactly.
A member of the Kuwaiti ruling family, Sheikh Majid Al Sabah, has brought his sweet scents from the Middle East to London, launching the perfume brand TFK, or the Fragrance Kitchen, a new branch to his fashion retail empire.
Why go into perfumes? Isn't this already a bit of a saturated market?
It is, in fact, a saturated market. However, I think that it is something that came from my background. In the Middle East, mostly old men and women, they keep a secret recipe of ingredients of fragrances for themselves. And being brought up by my grandmother, I adapted to her knowledge and her way of doing fragrances.
With the global fragrance industry estimated to be worth some $38.8 billion by 2017, Sheikh Majid Al Sabah hopes to make TFK a success that further vindicates his career in fashion.
I can tell you, 1991, it was the year that I had so much of horrible time dealing it with my family, because for people back in the Middle East, which is very much male-oriented, everybody was saying, oh, you're the nephew of the emir and you're starting a fashion business, you're going to deal with clothes and shoes. It's such a disgrace for the family. And it was very challenging for me to overcome this complication. And that's something which I had to fight for.
Al Sabah also fought hard to persuade European and American luxury brands like Gucci and Calvin Klein to sell their goods in the Middle East.
They didn't know about the market. And back in the 90s, they were all over the idea of expanding in Japan and the US. And let me tell you one thing, it changed through a lot of effort that I have put, even myself, into trying to expose the Middle East and change the mentality and change the perception.
You famously advised Tom Ford that he should create a luxury dish dasher.
Yes, and that started with the women more than men. In the early 2000s, I came to all the designers and I told them, look, it's very challenging. We have a huge business of, let's say, glamorous red carpet, evening wear. Our ladies, they cannot wear strapless clothes and things that shows the arm. So how about taking the iconic kaftan and turning it around in your very own language and start presenting it in a special way? And then all of a sudden, from next season, I started going to the showrooms and I saw a huge amount of collections of kaftans.
And what about the Middle Eastern customer, though? You must have watched that appetite change over the years.
Completely. It changed with the age group, because it used to be in the 90s, the purchase power with the 30 plus, and now it's the teenage plus. And it's quite shocking, because now the e-commerce is quite huge in the Middle East. Our young community now, they'd rather go to websites online and do their selection online and using some apps to do so, and not anymore going to the stores.
To adapt and compete with online efficiency, Al Sabah makes his own connection through the world of social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and has more than 50,000 followers on Instagram.
A lot of my followers are very much keen in knowing me as a person, not me as the businessman. And that really helped. Back in the Middle East, they really appreciate if someone that comes from a ruling family to be approachable. And it starts with a communication and a talk and a conversation. And then it turns into a meeting and might be a business deal happens after that.
In the not-too-distant past, the UAE, like many Gulf states, was an exporter of pearls. Then the Asians came into the market. When Marketplace Middle East continues, we go to the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, which is trying to give a rebirth to the pearl business right here in the region.